Good, glorious morning, everyone. And I hope that you are all doing well. I actually know that you are all doing very well. If it doesn't appear to manifest the way that you would prefer it today, just begin to show gratitude to the spirit of creation that is within you. And it'll shape up. Okay, so I'm playing with my thing today because I have some thoughts on my mind that I want to share with you. Okay, so I guess I'm going to be focusing on me after all. I'll pan around so that you can see the nature around me because that is what I prefer to present. Okay, so once again, I am in Dragonfly Park. I'm in another area of it where I can face the sun. So the things I want to talk to you about today are laws of nature, and I think maybe I'll title this Rules of Dominion. Because as I was leaving my neighborhood this morning, I generally circle in the cul-de-sac, and I noticed that some marketing firm or whatever is beginning to toss the sale papers, like the sale papers from the major supermarkets and people that have ads. They normally put that in our mailbox, but I don't know if they're coming in the mailbox or what's going on about that. I'm going to try to find a place to write to, or give a letter to the editor or something, because we really don't need that. We have the technology at our fingertips to know, where the sales are and all this kind of stuff. And if we stop and talk to each other, then every day, if we need something, we might find someone in our very neighborhood that provides that service. So if you need your house cleaned, there might be a professional housekeeper in your area, or someone that could benefit from assisting you to doing that, and you give them a little change or whatever, however that works. If you need help with getting your car fixed, you can ask one of your neighbors, where do you get your car fixed? Start communicating with each other. Oh my gosh, it perturbs me tremendously that we don't honor one another more as neighbors. I look out there and there's houses and they're pretty close to each other, but I wonder how many of those neighbors really have a conversation with each other. Stop and think about it. When I was growing up, my grandmother and the next door neighbor, Miss Willie, and my great grandmother, Della. Miss Willie was the neighbor, and my grandmother was Allie. And there was one rotary telephone in our house, in the back part of the house. It was a little nook for it, right where you come into the home kind of thing. And I don't know that the other lady even had one. I want to say she didn't, because when she wanted something or she needed something, she would come out to the fence, which was a low fence. It wasn't even like a hurricane fence. It was like a fence that I used to count the blocks on it, because it was like 4x4 square blocks. And at some point or another, it had a dip in it, because the way it was designed, I don't know if they put their foot on it or whatever, but it had a sink in it where these two ladies would get together and chat sometimes. And so if she needed something, she would call out and say, or if she saw my grandmother and me my great grandmother and myself in the garden, she would call out and say, Della, Della. And then my great grandmother would holler, Can't you see I'm busy right now, Willie? I'll talk to you later. Call Allie. She'd stay right there and she'd say, Allie? Allie? She'd have to do it a few times because normally Allie was in the kitchen making our breakfast. And so she would holler for a few more times. And then, of course, when Allie had the time, if Willie wasn't still there, she would go out to the fence and she would go, Willie, Miss Willie. Okay. And honey, they would lay on that fence and get the gossip channel going. They would talk about what church people was doing, what the people across the street at the honky tonk was doing on Saturday night, all this kind of stuff. That was our connection with the community. It fascinates me now, and it bothers me a little bit because we don't have that kind of communication. I'm not suggesting that we lean against the fence and gossip about each other, but just talk. I enjoy riding my bike. Everybody speaks, but of course we're out exercising. We're in our own little frame of mind. We're listening to our music or whatever. We're individualized, and so we're not stopping to talk or chat. I envy the people that are like 2 or 3 together and women chatting. Of course, I have to ding my little bell several times to get their attention so I don't run over them. But there's a place for interconnection one with the other in a normal manner, a more normal manner than technology. Sometimes we can send a text message and it goes over and then the person becomes offended or upset about something and we don't even know, and then when we get a chance to talk to them sometime later, sometimes we call, or sometimes we get a TikTok that says, I want to tell y'all about this, that, or the other. I'm like, seriously? Because they misinterpreted the text. Because you don't get the emotion. You can't convey in words properly or efficiently what you're trying to say. And so it can be taken incorrectly and cause a lot of problems. So those are some of the things I want to touch upon this morning, and I want to base it on the fact that going back to the things that are being tossed in our neighborhood, it's like in front of every house. But you got some people that don't pick that stuff up. They're leaving their house in their cars, raising their garage, driving their car out, going to work, coming back, or going to the store, coming back, and raising their garage and going into their house. And they don't even acknowledge that that stuff is there. I guess they're waiting on the lawn service people when they come to do the lawn to pick it up. But seriously, it's an eyesore. I walk around this beautiful park so many times, especially after a weekend when people have had parties and the lawn keepers have not come about. Seriously, you leave your busted balloons and your cups and the table strewn everywhere and the chairs strewn everywhere. And I guess because they're paying to use the facilities, they think it's okay. But in the Bible it says God gave man the dominion over all the earth and the beasts and the... Okay, it's our responsibility. It's a rule of dominion to take care of it. Okay, all of us, not just the ones that are paid. When we had a hurricane one time and my neighbors were sitting stuff out from they immediately started emptying their refrigerators and putting stuff out for the garbage men. Okay, and I told them, what are you doing? The ones that were closest to me, what are you doing? Oh, I'm cleaning out my refrigerator so the stuff won't sink. I says, right now your refrigerator is still cool enough. Keep it closed and take that stuff back in your house. Well, the garbage men will come. I said, do you not realize that the garbage men are people too? They have families. You don't know what happened to their homes, to their fences, to their garbage. Okay, they're people, they're not robots. Okay, so I mean, you got it out now, so if you don't want to put it back, then at least take it into your garage and secure it somewhere. I don't want that stuff in my house. Well, I don't want your stuff in my yard. Okay, or attracting flies and rats and stuff like that. We have a responsibility when we follow the rules of dominion and take care of those kinds of things, then we take care of each other. We take care of each other. I'll say it again. We take care of each other. We are commanded 2 commandments. Love the Lord your God as yourself, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. Duh! Come on. What part of love in action would make you reach out to your neighbor and say, good morning, good glorious morning, have a great day? Okay, let's share the love. And then if you happen to pass one of your neighbors so closely and see that they look rather sad, say, oh, hi, how are you doing today? And that person might open up and say something like, oh, I'm just running through the store like really, really quickly. My husband is got da-da-da-da-da. Just, oh, is there something I can do to help you? Or if you're anything like me and you know things about health, I'm like, so what's he dealing with? And they might say something. I says, oh, get you some apples, get you some lemons, get you some, I'll tell them some natural things to do, that might help them. And before you know it, that person is walking away with a smile on their face going, oh, somehow I had not thought about that. I says, because you're so busy taking care of it. You're on the front line. I says, I'm just passing by. Have a good day. All right? So it's so easy. When you go out your house in the front yard, pick up the sale papers and put them in the garbage can if you don't want to use them until we can get to, and write to these marketing places and tell them, we don't want the stuff thrown around in our neighborhood. It's not getting picked up and it's an eyesore. Okay? Otherwise, you'll get a letter from the HOA saying, pick up the debris in your yard. Crazy stuff. Come on, people. Let's love the Lord our God with all our hearts. Love the laws of nature. And then love our neighbors as we love ourselves. There goes another one. I'll be preaching all day, but I want to get back on my bicycle. But if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love your neighbor? I think I'll be doing this all day long, but I'm going to stop right here for now. My peeve is don't litter up our earth. We have dominion over the earth and all of the things that are in it. There are rules for dominion. Okay? Pick it up. God puts everything in order. So let's make some order. Okay, that's about enough of that. But I had to say it today. I just really, really had to say it today. Now, I'm going to ride my bike. I hope you see the sunshine. I hope you see the lake. I'm going to stop for a moment and let you hear the birds. And the lawn workers are at their jobs sculpting the land. They're taking dominion. And the people are enjoying walking, running, riding bikes, being out to nature. I hope that you have the chance to do some part or any part of this today and appreciate the gift that we have in Mother Earth. Father Fire, the angels of water, the angels of air. And stop for a moment and take a nice long deep breath. Be connected to the source of all, the breath. You have a glorious day. I'm getting back to my bike.